Good morning and welcome to Rising. We've got another great show for you today. It is Thursday morning, I believe, and we're just having so much fun already, aren't we?
We are, and also you are here tomorrow, so the audience needs to know.
Hey, that's right.
Robby on a Friday.
Me and Amber did a little swapping around, so I will be here in her place next 2 Fridays.
So I have 2 more days of radar, today and tomorrow.
Aren't you excited?
I'm thrilled. What's on your radar today?
Well, you will not be surprised at what I am talking about now. After just 2 days, President Donald Trump is already trumpeting his decision to federalize the Washington, D.C. police force and send in the National Guard as a rousing success. As of about yesterday, you see a big change and people are feeling safer already, Trump said at the Kennedy Center on Wednesday. They were afraid to walk out. They're not afraid anymore. Let's watch some of his remarks.
The stats went through the roof. You know, they had a man that was forced to put up stats like they were doing better. They're not doing better. Crime is the worst it's ever been, but it started as of about yesterday. You see a big change, and people are feeling safe already. I've had so many calls. Thank you, sir. Thank you. They were afraid to walk out. They're not afraid anymore.
Now, city residents who are eager for sound solutions to DC's enduring crime problems should hold their applause for now, because a temporary display of police force, I'm sorry to say, it's not a panacea for the widespread government incompetence that continues to cripple DC's criminal justice system. Now, dozens of National Guard troops did appear on the National Mall on Tuesday, and up to 800 of them are expected to come to DC by next week. The increased police presence in the nation's capital this week has yielded more than 100 arrests. The most significant category of arrests on Tuesday was for firearms violations, with 33 arrested on such charges and 24 guns confiscated by the police. Authorities also arrested 23 illegal immigrants, 7 alleged drug offenders, and 1 homicide suspect. Now, federal law enforcement agents were also spotted in the upscale Georgetown neighborhood, as well as Navy Yard, an area of the city that has seen a significant number of carjackings in recent years. Trust me, including that of a sitting member of Congress. It is not so great there, I say from personal experience. Now, the crime situation in D.C. is extremely complex. The statistics are not entirely reliable, and jurisdictional standoffs between the city and the feds were common even before Trump's latest move. Moreover, several factors, including the appallingly high number of murders in 2023 and the enduring trend of marauding bands of teenagers committing opportunistic acts of violence and theft, certainly created the impression that the city is as dangerous as ever, even though official reports suggest that the post-pandemic crime surge has abated. Well, Trump's appraisal of the crime situation may be not entirely in sync with reality, but it is nevertheless true that the nation's capital should be setting a much better example. D.C. residents certainly deserve more from their government. Now, in theory, hiring more police officers could definitely be a part of the puzzle. Both the mayor and the chief of police maintain that police staffing levels are historically low. A temporary infusion of National Guard troops stationed around the monuments, which are relatively safe areas, well, that will not make much of a difference, however. Now, the incidents that kicked off Trump's federal takeover was the attack on a former Doge staffer in one of the trendy areas of the city, DuPont Circle, Logan Circle, that area, which has high levels of foot traffic. Now, an increased police presence in neighborhoods that have recently become prone to antisocial behavior from large numbers of young people would probably deter opportunistic criminal attacks. Of course, tackling the most serious kinds of crime in D.C., gun homicides, would involve sending more police, or at least the most experienced police, into the most crime-ridden areas of the city, Wards 7 and 8, which are on the other side of the Anacostia River. Now, unfortunately, of course, tackling the most serious kinds of gun crime in D.C. would involve sending more police, at least the most experienced police, into the most crime-ridden areas of the city, Ward 7 and 8, which are on the other side of the Anacostia River. Unfortunately, as my friend, former Libertarian Party Chair Joseph Bishop Henchman documented in an article for Reason magazine, police officers with the most seniority and expertise get their choice of jobs and usually leave the really tough policing to the rookies. Indeed, this speaks to the city's overall problem, which is well explained by Bishop Henchman. Local government incompetence caused a total breakdown of DC's criminal justice system. A main culprit is the DC Forensics Laboratory, which was deaccredited in 2021 due to numerous problems. This meant that for years, prosecutors had no working lab to help process evidence to assist with cases. As a consequence of this and other issues, successful prosecutions plummeted. Earlier this year, the crime lab did regain accreditation, though it's reportedly still unable to do ballistics testing. For DC's crime situation to improve dramatically, look, high crime areas need somewhat more attention from the authorities. Homicide detectives need more resources to be put toward solving cases, and then prosecutors need both the tools and the willpower to do their jobs effectively. If federal troops intend to assist with any of that, great. If not, then we just can't declare victory before the battle is over. Sorry.
I think that a day or two into a new strategy to go and do a press conference about how much of a big success this is.
You don't feel safer already, Lindsay?
No, and I actually just moving here, so I actually don't see any major differences except for a larger police presence. But what I did see, I watched a video online yesterday, was people that were sitting in their home relaxing and then had National Guard at their door, people of color that were being asked for their ID, and they were like, do you have a warrant? Or
at their door?
Yeah, they were just sitting in there in the front yard on their stoop, as one should who buys property. Mm-hmm. The stoop is also yours. And the police walked the first step on the stoop, the federal official, and said, may I see your ID? He's like, I live here. And they had a pleasant exchange that was fine enough. But like, imagine you purchase property and somebody just walking up to you because they just picked and choose who they should stop and ask for ID at their own home. And so these are just videos that I'm seeing online. So like,
I don't know if they're going to someone's home to ask for. I assume they're following up on an investigation.
No, they asked him, do you have a warrant or something that you're looking for? I live here. And he was like, no, you didn't hear that Trump is sending federal authorities. This is a whole exchange. And the officer was nice enough. The federal officer was nice enough. But he was like, you didn't hear that Trump has people in town doing this? And the guy was like, no, I didn't hear.
Sending to people's homes?
Well, I think they just were in a neighborhood and someone happened to live there, as people do. Like people live in Navy Yard, like people have brownstones, or how do you guys call them here?
Brownstones.
Yeah, okay, brownstones.
Row houses.
Row houses, so people have those, so they can be sitting on their stoops. So they're in several neighborhoods. Row houses are all over DC, so you know that people have stoops in front yards. And so somebody just like, ID, maybe it was a couple of guys, and I was just like, okay, this is kind of...
I would like to know more about the context of it. Obviously, I don't think the police should be just, nor do the police want to be just bothering people for no reason at their homes. What we want is, again, the bands of teenagers to be deterred from opportunistic crime. We want more resources put towards solving gun homicides. I want more senior police officers sent across the Anacostia River to the most crime-plagued areas of the city. Right now, the most juvenile, rookiest cops are the ones sent there because of the way seniority works. That's always a problem in government contracting and government employment, that once you work there longer, you get more seniority, you get to deploy yourself to the easiest jobs and send the newest employees on the hardest missions. This is a serial problem with government work. It's, by the way, the reason why none of the escalators in DC work. They're always broken at every metro station because the elevator repairmen are unionized, and the union always sends the least experienced people to go actually do the hard escalator fixing jobs.
So I would love to hear a press conference in a real duration of time, and I know this might go on for 30 days without congressional approval, but I would love to hear a 30-day report about how many long-term solutions began implementation to see how people can actually have sustainability and in the city that's not crime. And so part of that would be saying, okay, we've moved homeless people off the streets. Here's where they're gone. Here's the shelters they've gone. Here are the programs that they're in. Not, oh, they're in Virginia. Oh, now they're in Maryland. We push them out because we want to make our city look good where the White House is. I want to also hear people say, okay, kids are less out in the street doing stuff at 11 o'clock at night. We've created these 5 youth programs that actually have had success. We've seen enrollment skyrocket. I would love to hear this information paired together because, like Mayor Bowser is saying, she's very much open to the idea of having extra protection. There are people all over the city that want to feel safe and sound with their families, but I'd like to hear some reports about long-term solution and not so much showmanship.
Mayor Bowser is happy to have the help, I think, from the national troops.
She did a lot of different...
Well, she knows that we need to hire 800 more police officers.
She can't just be like, I'm unhappy, because she knows that she's going to have problems.
Because she knows that people are unhappy with the level of crime.
It's a debatable topic.
Up next, Tulsi Gabbard has released new Russiagate documents. We'll show you what's in them. Stay tuned.